Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, August 11th, 2011. Let's get right into the charts here. There's a lot to cover. Again, the European crisis is front and center. You're going to see here a chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Notice they're trading down about 15.5 points. About 4 in the morning, you're going to see that the futures are trading above the 1145 level and have since really cratered. Just a little while ago, there was some news released saying that Asian finance sources were no longer going to fund French banks, and French banks are starting to get hit right now. And this is what is taking place at the moment. So it's really on the European crisis for the most part. You're seeing a lot of fear going on in Europe. There's talk of that they're going to limit short selling, if not ban it altogether, and that's usually the worst sign when they do that, because it's really a big fear gauge. But when you limit short selling, you are really just forcing people to just get out of the market on the sell side, and there's really no one to get caught on a squeeze there to really bring that market back up. So again, it's never a good sign to see limiting short selling taking place, but that is the rumor at the moment, as reported on CNBC just a little while ago. But all of these big banks in Europe are getting hit today. You're going to see the French CAC 40 is down about 3% at the moment. So this is going to be under pressure for most of the session, and we'll see how it plays out. But again, futures really took a tumble. They were trading sharply higher overnight, and as soon as really 4 in the morning came around, 4:30 in the morning, the market started to come under pressure and really started to decline. I guess it was right around here, 7 o'clock this morning, when that report was released by Reuters about the French banks no longer getting any Asian assistance, and the markets have really tumbled. So again, expect another volatile session. These are not the norm, but this is what we're dealing with right now. The market's really in just a heap of trouble as we look at it every single day, and you could just pretty much say the French banks have been fried. Now, we do have 8:30 economic data. Initial jobless claims are being released. See the futures starting to tick up just a little bit. I won't make too much out of it, but the initial weekly jobless claim number is going to be released in just a moment. We'll see how much of effect it has. I'm not sure what the number is at the moment, but we'll see. That will be released in just a few seconds. But the markets are jumping ahead of it. We'll see if it's a good number or a bad number. Okay, it was 395,000 new initial claims. I guess that's a little bit better than expected. Still really not a great number at this point. But futures are inching up a little bit off the lows on that number. So I'll see what the weekly moving average is, and I'll let you know in just a moment. But it looks like U.S. weekly jobless claims down to 395,000 for the week. That's a decline of 7,000. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not sure it's really going to have much effect on this market right now, to be honest. Okay, a couple of other things to look at real quick. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. You can see here the dollar index is making a move higher today. Okay, the euro coming under pressure. U.S. dollar index is making a move higher. It has pulled back sharply off the highs of the day. That's a big pullback, believe it or not, when you see about a 30-cent decline. It's a lot of meat and potatoes, especially in one 10-minute candle here. But U.S. dollar index is higher on the day by about 33 cents. Was higher a lot more a little while ago, but has pulled back. A couple of things to go over as well. You want to watch gold today. Gold had margin hikes take place. So gold is coming under a little bit of pressure. But with all this news out of Europe, don't be surprised if gold makes a move back up. You can't rule it out. The daily chart is still holding up very, very well, although it is super extended and it's overbought. You did get margin requirements to be hiked over there in the CME, so that is bringing gold under a little bit of pressure. The GLD right now is trading at 173.57. Yesterday closed at 174.58. But this was telegraphed by the market, so a lot of this could be already factored in when it comes to margin hikes in gold. All right, we've seen the same thing happen in silver not too long ago, and silver, has never really recovered from those margin hikes. If I just go to a daily chart here, you can see margin hikes were implemented right here, right before early May, and silver really took a nosedive and still never really recovered back to those old highs yet. So we'll see how that plays out. But nonetheless, gold is starting to silver is creeping up a little bit today. That's having a pretty much not a bad day. It's starting to inch up a little bit. Yesterday closed at 38.44 on the SLV. Today it's trading at $38. Just using this as a silver proxy. But keep your eye on gold. Gold did have margin hikes last night, and we'll see if that affects gold today. But gold is starting to rebound as well with all these problems in France. Now, futures continue to decline, down 19 points now. We're basically at the low of the day, and we have a little bit of a level here coming into play. I guess that's around the, yeah, we already took that level out. So we're going to test the 1100 level, which was the daily chart low from 2 days ago. So we're about to go down to that area. So 1100 is going to be a big spot for the futures, and then really it's down to 1175 after that if this thing does break. And again, in this kind of a market, you have to be prepared for the downside. That's all there is to it. All right, let's take a look here at some of the at USO. I want to take a look at oil. You'll see here that the USO is under a little bit of pressure, closed at 31.78. Today it's trading at 31.75. It actually was higher earlier, but has since falling. It has declined. And if you look at spot crude is down $1.68 today. So it's trading around 81.29 a barrel. Yesterday was a big move for oil. Today it's coming back down a little bit on this news. Oil did start out strong, though, and it has faded, just like the market. Let's take a look here at some of the leading stocks. I'm sure everybody heard this. Cisco beating numbers yesterday. Cisco's catching a nice bid. Stock closed at $13.73, trading at $15.41. Very nice pop for Cisco. I got to say that's a pretty good move for Cisco, especially. But it was beaten down. Cisco was a crushed demolition stock. Basically, the stock was trading below 14 bucks. So this morning Cisco is popping on the news. That normally would affect other networking names like Juniper. That would be positive for them, but you're not seeing any activity in Juniper at all. Some other networking names, maybe Riverbed. That's another one. That's holding steady. Really not doing too much this morning. F5, FFIV is the ticker. And you can see that one made a little move earlier, has since come back down. So normally, if the markets were stable, we'd look at these sympathy plays to Cisco. But today, with the markets being the way they are, that may not occur. Okay, so we'll keep watch of that. Some other stocks that are getting hit today, ticker symbol SODA. I saw this one early, really getting crushed. It is rebounding back a little bit, but this stock has really gotten hit this morning pretty sharply. Let's take a look at OTEX. This is another one hit pretty sharply and really right at the lows. You could watch maybe the $50 level to be some minor support, but again, in this type of environment, if you're moving lower and the markets start to move lower, stocks can just break all sorts of support levels. You want to be careful in this type of environment going forward. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at this morning. This is what we're dealing with. Again, another French crisis, and the futures are really paying the price this morning. We'll see how much this market does decline today. It wouldn't be surprising to see the markets, get a little bit of a reaction to the upside because we're so oversold. However, the European crisis just seems to get worse by the minute, and it may not be worth stepping in front of anything here at the moment. So watch for pattern, but remember the moves are going to be very, very wide. The swings intraday are just tremendous right now, and you still got to be a little bit on the cautious side. Okay, with that said, everybody, have a great trading day. Those of you in the chat room, I'll see you at 9:30. Have a wonderful day, everyone.